Hello everybody, today is Sunday the 27th of October and I am using my tiny waffle iron which I have for about 2 years and never used because it said you need to clean it before you use it and that hindered me a bit. Also, I still don't get the hype with waffles, but I made a few so far and I was very curious if I read reviews that the casing would melt away, so it doesn't so far, so it's good. So here it is, my teeny tiny, super cute, adorable waffle iron. Ein Waffeleisen. Waffle, same word. Isn't it Belgium? So that's closer to here anyway. And they turn out like that small. The first one I threw out, and there's plenty to go. Maybe I shouldn't have that too close. Okay. So maybe I take it out. I find stuff like that very scary. And then normally I use 2 hands. Now I spoon it over. And I just got a quick recipe off the internet with 125 of butter. That hasn't happened before either. I have the recipe on this phone. So here's the recipe for about 10 pieces. It needs 125 grams of soft butter, 100 grams of sugar, 1 package of vanilla sugar, 3 eggs, 250 grams of flour, 1 pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 200 milliliters of milk. Have you seen this already? I got my machine higher up now, so it's a bit easier. Still having tons of coffee with that. Not tons, because I get a headache from it. So 2 or something a day. Okay, it's so cute. And I love this series. I'm not usually that retro, that vintage, but I love that stuff. They have many different things. I think I was looking for a big paper pad to have under my crafting so my table gets protected. And then I bought this waffle iron and more electronical supplies. I don't remember what it was, but it was a big shopping trip then. So today is Tuesday the 29th of October, and I was just at the vet. I did take my it's a trolley for the bike for the first time, and it worked very well. I could prepare it yesterday, have it pumped, the wheels pumped, and got it out of my storage thingy in the basement. So I was very well prepared. Also, I told Tilly yesterday that we're going today because she felt very bad and it smelled bad from her mouth, and I think she had some goo coming out. She did have that nearly a year ago, and we went then too. They saw nothing. Same thing today. But it was just very good that yesterday I told her we're going to the vet. Normally I'm not telling them. I keep it a secret. Then at some point I grab them and put them in their cage thingy, basket something. And this time I warned her. I told her yesterday, and also that we go and check it out. And then this morning too, in about an hour. And then she went into one of the cardboard boxes and was kind of waiting for her appointment. And then I called her and she came out and was a bit, I don't know how to behave, but I could pick her up, and she went into that carrier thingy without any troubles. That has never happened. She just went in there, but she was a bit awkward. And I thought I would be the same way. When I know that I will have an appointment and I'm waiting for that and the other person's coming and picking me up, I would be a bit weird to waiting, but yeah, anxious or it was so good. She was so good. That was just so fascinating. That's why I want to have that on a vlog, because that was just amazing. And it is okay to tell them that one's going to the vet. I need to learn that. That was also when I was working as a therapist. I think it's fine to tell the kids what you're working on, but one always wants to secret around somehow. So I need to work on that. And I saw that the the doctor's assistant lady the administration lady from the vet has her 40th anniversary at working at the vet, I think, and I want to make a card for her. Even though it has been getting better, it was very good for my hand not to make cards at the moment. And I'm also not diamond painting. On the other hand, I started playing Palia, yeah, on the internet, and so that hurt my hand too. But I want to make a card, and the next card I'm gonna do, I will do in Swiss German, because I've heard that when you have the videos out in the language of your country, it's better for the algorithm. And I am fighting with the algorithm, whatever, because I'm not niching out. I am not growing. I work on my channel for 4 years already, and I am not far for that. It's really, really, really disheartening. And that's why I want to try that with the Swiss German video. Maybe I will do the same then in English, but just be warned. One of my next videos will be all in Swiss German. So, because I want to try that. Because I know I don't have the consistency and things that would help a lot, but I don't have consistency because now I have a year of trouble here. And yeah, and others who have a niche and consistency, they start in a month and have the same amount of subscribers in a month and more than that I have in 4 years. It is stressing me out a lot. So I try not to look at that, but yeah. And I also try not to talk about it because it's annoying for those who watch me and have subscribed. I would say abonniert me, but that sounds bad. Okay. Abonnieren, that's it in German. So, okay, thank you for those who did, and also for liking my videos and commenting. Also don't want to say that because I don't like it. I don't like hearing it. I'm just very happy when somebody does it. Yeah, and I try not to complain about things. And I know all the others who say that, oh, all the viewers, they're not subscribed. Every channel has that. Get over it. It's always about 30% of subscribers who watch it and 70 of others. Sometimes it's different, but that's just normal. So I'm not subscribing to everybody just because I watch one video of them. So I did it anyway. Okay, I am having, this is a long clip, but I'm having Thabk. Very, very hard and also very old. With peppermint tea, because I feel very sick and weak and it's it's not good. Also, this is good, but I don't feel good at all. Yeah, so thank you for listening. So it's a few hours later and I'm about to have lunch with cottage cheese, which has those, not the parsley, but Wiesenlock in it, Schnittlauch, and my soup, vegetables, and fish. And the lemon pepper, we would say, is ausgerutscht. It did slip out, so it came a bit too much. And I was just lying down for 2 hours or an hour, and then I got up again, had a coffee, and I feel better. I felt very, very bad after my trip there, even though I'm very happy about how everything worked. My whole body was hurting, and I felt sick, and it's very hard to endure that kind of feeling. So I just wanted to cry. But then I laid down, which I don't want to do, but I did, and I feel a bit better. So all in all, it's not a bad day. Way better than yesterday. And gute miteinander. So I have now started my Swiss German video. And I will include in here the clips with a voiceover, English voiceover, I think. And in the Swiss German one, I just talk on it, I think. I have an idea what to do. And yeah, that's that. So that's going to repeat. No, I'm not going to do the intro again. And good news. The blood tests came back from Tilly. She does not have diabetes anymore, so she does not have sugar. I am very happy about that. It was the cortisone which led to that, and now I don't have to go there all the time and check her blood things and so on. And I will go back there, though, for an anti-inflammation thingy tomorrow or the day after that, and then I can bring this card to Frau Goldinger. So, and now I start the card. So I started with a thought of this card I made just recently. I think you remember that. And I mentioned that I would like to do that one just a bit more, not as high, but longer. So different size. Still quite big. See there, I showed it. And then I tried it out. I tried the size, and then I thought it was a bit too big, so I cut it a bit shorter. And this is now the size I ended up on. I think I like that very much. It is, the sides are about 3 inches. The front panel is about 7 inches wide, and the height of it all is about 4 inches. And again, it had a little leftover of an A4 paper, which is a standard paper over here in Europe. And yeah, then as this was my try out card about the size, I just thought I would cut down that side and make those the floors I put in the middle. So I have the size, which is about 7 inches, the width of it, and then I have glue flaps on both sides. And like that, I did not waste my first tryout card size thing, which I just made in white. Yeah, so I used those as floors later on, as levels, layers maybe. Okay, and then I decided I would like to do the animal praxis, the veterinarian thingy in blue. So first I do the glue flap, which is about 1/4 of an inch. It's 1 centimeter. Then I do 7 centimeters, which is about 3 inches. And then I do 17 centimeters there, the big front panel, which is about 7 inches. I hope I said 3 inches before. Okay, and now I have a glue flap on the left. And I think I do one on the right, but you don't need that. Because in my prototype, I had it on the other side, the glue flap, and then I confused myself a bit. And here I just score it down in the middle, which is about at 4 inches. So I know where to cut those apart. And with that, I have my interactive mechanism, my outer shell of this card finished. So I just cut that down. And then that is very, very crooked. So I cut it down a bit further. That is not so interesting. And then I just mentioned, I think that nothing is perfect, what I do, and I just make stuff fit. And that's all right, as long as you get it done. And then I had another debate with myself about which glue flap I should take, but it doesn't really matter, and that's what I see here too. So you just need 1 glue flap, not 2, but it doesn't matter if you have them on the left side or right side, as long as you have them on the same side on both panels. That's important. Otherwise you have, again, 2 glue flaps that meet or none. So I cut off the excess of those sides, and then I got my deckled nesting die. I don't remember what's it called now. It's from Hello Bluebird. I love that. This frailed rim, whatever. And when I tried out my prototype, and then I wanted to use this die cut, and it had a lot of space around. Then I adjusted my size to this die. That's why I have a very cool edge around, which is quite even. So I cut it out, and again I use washi tape for that, which I also have from my diamond paintings. And when it's not such a good quality of washi tape, I don't mind using it for die cutting. Still, I put it back on my machine to use it later. So, okay, as you can see there. And I'm thinking about making it quicker, because this part I was narrating whilst doing it, and that is very different. And there you see this nice edge thingy. And then I folded it. And the other one too. And then you get to that form and that size of card. And then I thought about those levels I want to have in the middle. And I'm just going to make a normal floor. And I thought that this paper would be very good for 3 floors, which I can have in there. So I just cut out stripes of about an inch, maybe. A bit more than an inch. I just make 3 stripes out of that thing. And I only have this long slimline stencil. All the others are just more square and shorter. So I decided I make a floor with those stones. Cobbled floor. I don't know if that tiled floor or something. And this is my waffle flower mat, which I have from scraphouse.ch. I will include in those videos some links and stuff. I did do my Swiss German video and then exported it and just put it in here, and I'll do the voiceover. So sometimes you will have a subtitle, subtext, whatever in Swiss German. And yeah, it's very hard to get that plastic backing of this sticky mat. That really hurts and makes one angry. And here I figure out I should cut out those panels first so I can ink them better. So I can ink 2 and 2 later on. Here are my strips, which are, I think, a bit more than than an inch. I just made 3 out of that one paper and added another one from the other paper. And now I will just ink blend them 2 by 2. For that, I use my what ink? Distress inks, but not distress oxides, because again, when I use stencils, I like using the ink and not oxide, because oxide edges are a bit too soft for me. I like them very crisp. That's why I use those for stencils. And there I take Mermaid Lagoon and later on also add Faded Jeans with my ink blending stumps. But this is not very interesting. Yeah, I keep my foam there in the back. I also think now, my Swiss German video, I did very as if somebody watched me for the first time. And normally the English ones, I don't entirely do it like that, even though I repeat myself a lot and stuff and so on. Okay, so here we go with a Mermaid Lagoon. Just doing the first layer. This is actually quite subtle, but I always have a lot of color on it. I like very bold, strong colors, a lot of hue, if that is the right word. It's just a lot of pigments. I cannot do pastel and things. I like stuff strong. Okay, and then I decided I will take some Faded Jeans and just go around the edges a bit, just to make it a bit more interesting. And in the end, I will have the panels with the lighter side facing up, like the shine on the floor, which would be on top and not the bottom of the floor, even though that doesn't make sense at all. Okay. And then I didn't blend it very well. I just did a very short, quick thingy, and I think that looks all right. It's quite pretty. So, and then I did the other ones off camera, and then I got all my stamps out, and I know now what I want to do. I have a concept. So those are my floors, which I have nicely ink blended. I will have one on the front panel. There will be the administration desk and others. And then in the back, there will be, I only have this one paw stamp. I want more paw stamp, but I only have one. And I will do the tapestry in the waiting room like that. Then I will put her name somewhere. Her name is Goldinger. And I have this box thingy, which I did with match boxes, where I keep my leftover die-cut letters, which is handy. Sometimes you have enough to make a new project, or at least you can use it to space out your letters and see if it fits. Then I have those two that come and congratulate the lady there, which is behind her administration table. It's going to be that lady there, the bunny. And also I thought about using more decoration things like the tissues and some medicine and stuff on that table. And it's an administration lady, so she needs a phone, and here's my phone again, which I made. And I just need to cut that out. I have all the die cuts for the other things. I'm very happy about that. Here, I will take that stool for in the waiting room for the chairs, and I would just add some animals on it. And maybe use that dresser with a fish. And here are some critters I had already colored and cut out a while ago. And I will just see which ones I want to use of those. Those are different brands. This is Lawn Fawn. The other one was Mama Elephant, SF Stamps. This, yeah, so it's everything is in there. Okay, that is my concept, I think. I don't know what else I'm saying there. And now I'm going to do my tapestry. And I just take this little paw thingy. I do have stencils of that, but I only have this one. I can't believe that there's not more stamps with paws on it, because that's important. it's really missing. I had to look through so many stamps to find that one. I knew I had just one. But I think I have 2 stencils like it. But I want more stamps like that. Okay, then I tried to do a tapestry. I'm just, I started somehow. Then I thought I could make a pattern how animals are walking, or this one is kind of running. And then I filled it up entirely. And I find that very hard to just do it higgledy-piggledy and not in a straight pattern somehow. It's way easier to just have them very, very straight. But I tried not to. And so I will just put those paws on the background. Then I found that cool holographic paper, and I thought I would cut out her name to then have the letters hang down from the top of the frame like balloons, the name of the lady. In the end, I don't put it there. I put it in the back of the card, but yeah, that was my idea at first. And then I wanted to cut it out with the holographic and black, because I always like to make a shadow layer behind, but I'm not filming that because I did have not such a good time at that moment, and I needed to take a break too. So I thought I would prepare my card. I was very, very stressed all the time until I had this part kind of done, because card making is hard. Only in the end you're finished, and up until then you prepare many different bits, and until it's assembled I am kind of uneasy about it. So here I have my score tape on the score flaps, on the glue flaps. And then I thought there was a big deal that on the right hand side that the tapestry was wrong. It's kind of upside down, but it could have just been fine if I had put another stamp on top. You will see it very soon. And I'll make a big deal about that and fix it. So now I see it. It's the wrong way around. It's horrible. But it's just one missing. I guess all those paws were facing downwards, but there wasn't an issue, actually. I just saw that when editing, that it's not really a problem. Okay, I bought those parts up against each other, put down the glue flap, and like that I have my card base together. I don't close it entirely because I need to add my layers in the middle first. With this side up, the lighter side up, I will have 3 layers on the inside, and again 1 layer in the front. And here comes my effort to save my wrong tapestry. I have a stamp which says you are a, du bist ein Goldschatz, you are a gold, you're a piece of gold somehow. And I will put that on a die cut, which I have from this interactive card set from Magengo Designs. I often do that just to look for nice panels to cut out, because it fits nicely with a stamp and over those paw things. I don't know why I thought I need to have it over those paws. I just thought it's all wrong. I was also very tired at that moment. Okay, so I do the baby powder because I'm gonna do this embossing powder, which is called Gilded. I could have done it in gold, but my gold is so chunky. And the silver would have been funny because it says you are a piece of gold and then it's in silver. It's kind of ironic, but I thought I would use that Gilded embossing powder, which is very golden actually. So then I use my Versamark thingy, ink pad, and do the embossing on here. And I do the embossing first before I cut it out, because it's easier to stamp it. When you have a very tiny panel, you cannot put the magnets on it if you want to put it in the thingy, in the stamping helper. And when you cut it later, you can do that. I noticed now I've been talking for I don't know how long. My energy is just dropping. Okay, there it was a Goldstück, and then that's gonna get with the heat tool heated up, and now it's embossed. And then I cut it out with a die cutting machine, which flattens embossing a bit, but again, it's easier to do the stamping and embossing first and then cut out that tiny panel. It's not tiny, but very small. So then I decided I glued the thing on, that little poster thing, and started with layers in there and just tried to make them parallel to the bottom line. And this one even on the bottom line, not overlapping. I tried to space them out evenly and glued them down on the right-hand side, took off the release paper on the left-hand side, and I closed the card, could take off that paper and close it entirely. And somehow it never entirely goes well, so it's very bent when it's open, but it works out. There I marked how far the panel goes, put the glue down, so it doesn't have glue where it shouldn't, and then I cut off the rest. I have sped up that part now from the video, because it's very different talking whilst doing it or just narrating over it. There you see it's all a bit bent, like an amphitheater in Rome or something. Then I started my coloring thing. I just wrote those 40 years by hand. And here I colored the fox with 3 different oranges, and then I just took 1 green, yellow, just very quickly. I don't think a lot about which markers I use. I just grab one, and with the orange I have a bundle. I have 3 together, and yeah. And here the card is already finished. I had to do that off camera because I'm not good with decorating on camera. There you see, I love how the Goldinger, how the letters are in the back, but because they're so shiny you can still see them. And this is a card you can look at for a long time because you never see everything at once, and especially when you just have it normally on the table or something, you don't see the dog there behind or the fox behind the bunny. But when you twist it and turn it, you can find new things all the time. Then I have the raccoon on the side. And this paper, I took the Lawn Fawn 12 by 12 thingy, and it was just a bit too short on one side, the with the leaves, the paper. So I cut off the same amount on the other side to make it even. That's a very good trick, I think. And then I made the envelope. I have to make that envelope out of 2 papers. So I take 3/4 of an inch on each side, just a little bit over, a bit less than the card is wide. I hope you understand what I mean. And then I turn it around, and I always start with that flap that goes up in front of the card. So when you open it, you see the card poking out. That's why I make that a bit smaller. Here I have it at 6 centimeters, which is about maybe 2 inches. And then the whole card needs to fit, so that's my next score line. And then I will have to add a flap, which closes up the envelope, but I don't know how long that has to be yet, because I don't know how short I made that front flap, which will still show the card. So it's very individual. Every time I make an envelope, it turns out differently. Then I cut down that front flap thingy and make those rounded corners for the part when there's the envelope, flap, lid, whatever. And this is easier when I do that from both sides, because I only cut a nice circle or bend or corner when from one side. And then I round those corners, which you will see in the front. I bent that over, and now I can show you what I mean. This is this front flap, which already shows the card. And then there I need to attach a lid, a cover flap. And here I can check out how long it has to be. How long is, because I started on the top of it, and it just needs to cover, yeah, the whole thing, the whole opening. That's a better word. So I cut off that rest, and I like to have a flap because they just look pretty. So I cut off the corners because I did score the other line before, the sides. And this is just mainly surgical, mainly, this is just a beauty step. It's not important. So I cut off those flaps on this one because I don't need it and I don't want it double up. And then I decided I will just glue this extension of the flap to the flap stump. I'm still no, why am I still thinking about that? There's a word for it, but it's okay. So I could have glued it on the other way around, but I thought that's kind of cool to just glue that in there and then the flaps around, and then it holds kind of double and very dicht, very secure. There won't be a gap, and if there is a gap, I can still use washi tape. So here's the surgical part, the beauty thing part, just for aesthetics. I don't know. I'm looking for a word, and I don't know what kind of word. That often happens. Too many people. And it's driving one mad sometimes. And here I check out the height of my front flap and then put the glue and pay attention not to have it too close to the inner line because I don't want it to spill out into the envelope and glue it shut. And then I'm already done with that envelope, and I think double the speed worked fine now. I might have been a bit slow, but I'm not switching it up now that I've worked through all that voiceover. And I will add score tape. No, I'm adding score tape to close it when I send it by mail, but here I just gonna add some washi tape, write the name on it, and then I'm done. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I think I'm gonna finish this video here too. I will have fun to edit that somehow. This video goes out first, and then the Swiss German version, and you will hear this in English. And then if you want to, you can check out the Swiss German one, which will be 2 days later, I think. So I thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.